This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Monday, the 2nd day of December in the year 2019. Here is what we're tracking tonight. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs this afternoon confirmed a major shakeup that will see the Director General being reassigned and the number of ambassadors being brought back home. In a statement, the Foreign Affairs Ministry said the position of Director General will not be replaced by the position of Permanent Secretary, as exists in other ministries. Guyana's current ambassador to the CARICOM, Charlene Phoenix, who joined the ministry in 1996, has been appointed as Permanent Secretary within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, with effect from today. The ministry said Ambassador Phoenix has served as the director of the Department of the Americas since 2016 and as Guyana's ambassador to the Caribbean Community CARICOM since November 2017. Ambassador Audrey Jardine Waddell, who previously served as Director General within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs from June 2015, has proceeded on a period of annual leave pending reassignment. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has recognized and expressed its appreciation to Ambassador Waddell for her service as Director General, the statement said. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs also announced that a decision has also been taken to bring an end to the services of a number of heads of missions, especially those who might have enjoyed an extended tenure of duty beyond the official limit. It said, as it is well known, the tenure of an ambassador runs to approximately 3 to 5 years. However, for a variety of reasons and factors, some of Guyana's ambassadors have been abroad for as long as 2 decades. The ministry said the situation has become an impediment to other younger and rising foreign service officers, whose performance and professional competence might require that they should be appointed to the summit of the Foreign Service. A subsequent announcement, the ministry said, is to be made on that particular matter. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it is the wish and expectation of the ministry that a statement put out today on the ongoing exercise within the ministry will help to allay any concerns and put to rest any and all summarizings and or misrepresentations that may have arisen in the public domain concerning what it called normal administrative undertaking. But News Source understands that the decision may have been prompted by a move by the former Director General to begin extending the contract for a number of the ambassadors without consultation with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the President's office. Additionally, there were also concerns being raised about a supersession in the Foreign Affairs Service and a number of seasoned diplomats with years of experience being overlooked and their seniority not being taken into consideration. There was also concern about some recent promotions and postings at some of the overseas missions. More news coming up in a moment.
It's bigger, it's better, it's back! It's GTT's plus size Christmas promotion! Connect with your friends and loved ones with GTT services to benefit from our biggest ever Christmas bundle of specials and be one of our plus size winners. Visit our website or call 227-9444 for more information today.
Big bundles for you. Big bundles for you. Top up a grand, we make a winner out of you. We got a game show for you. Game show for you.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Enter the GBTI Quick Cash Christmas Promotion and make it a Christmas to remember. You get up to $500,000 easy for anything you want this Christmas. Plus, enter for a chance to win fabulous items for your home. One complete 7-foot granite top base kitchen cabinet, 1 sectional suite, 1 5-piece dinette set, and complimentary baskets of goodies. Apply at your nearest branch or online at www.gbtibank.com. GBTI, we see Christmas through your eyes.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Welcome back. The Society Against Sexual Orientation Discrimination Sassa and Midway Specialty Care Center Guyana today signed a Memorandum of Understanding to offer pre-exposure prophylaxis and non-occupational post-exposure prophylaxis services to the general public. PrEP is an HIV prevention approach where HIV-negative individuals use anti-HIV medications to reduce their risk of becoming infected if they are exposed to the virus. PrEP can stop HIV from taking hold and spreading throughout the body. PrEP refers to the medical treatment started after exposure to a pathogen in order to prevent the infection from occurring. Research shows that a once-daily pill reduces the risk of getting HIV from sex by more than 90%. Following research on its effectiveness, the World Health Organization back in 2014 recommended PrEP as an additional HIV prevention choice for groups such as men who have sex with men and transgender women. This recommendation was extended to all groups in 2015. Speaking at the simple signing ceremony today, Managing Director of Sassa, Joel Simpson, said with the introduction of the services, there could be a reduction in new infections of HIV.
These two organizations have decided to publicly and formally launch our win-win collaboration. Sassa Guyana has been a long-time advocate for the introduction of PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis services, for all persons who are at risk. Midway specialty care centers have acquired tremendous expertise in providing pre-exposure prophylaxis in the United States.
Meanwhile, a representative for the center, Dr. Ruth Ramos Gonzalez Ram, noted that the center will be providing comprehensive support services consisting of adherence counseling, mental and emotional support, and sexual and reproductive health services, and will be made available beginning the 9th of December.
So the government program is currently limited to that through these 7 doctors. Through that program, PrEP is free. Right? Our program, our initiative here goes beyond that by providing PrEP for anyone who thinks they're at substantial risk. And people could self-assess their own risk, but part of the consultation services that we're providing and the counseling and so on is to help you to assess whether you're at substantial risk.
Midway Specialty Care Center and Sassa Guyana will also be providing PrEP and NPrEP as part of a combination prevention, which includes condoms, STI screening and management, HIV testing and counseling, risk reduction management, and harm reduction. Guyana joined the rest of the world on Sunday in observing World AIDS Day. A large awareness walk and rally were hosted as part of the observances. The event made its way through the streets of Georgetown with loud chants in support of the fight against stigma and discrimination. At the rally, Public Health Minister Valda Lawrence encouraged persons to know their status, and she said for those who might be tested positive, they should know it's not the end of the world, and treatment is available free of cost.
Stigma and discrimination does not add to us. When we speak ill of someone, when we speak bad things about persons that we don't have any facts about, it doesn't add to our stature. Rather, it takes away from us. It takes away how people will trust us first. The same person that you're talking to will walk away and say, me boy, if I got a problem, I never let she know or let he know. And we have to stop it.
The Public Health Minister said the government will continue to play its role in the fight against HIV and AIDS and will continue the fight against discrimination at all levels.
But I want to say this to you, many of you who talk about who got HIV and who got this and who got that. Well, I want to tell you, unless you don't go get tested, you ain't go where you got. So I advise you to go and get tested. Not only for HIV, but go and get tested for all the other diseases that are out there. Get tested.
Although Guyana has seen a decline in HIV and AIDS cases over the years, there is now concern that among youths there is an increase in the number of cases, and it is very worrying. There are 8,000 persons who are living in Guyana with HIV/AIDS. Let's tell you now that Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire today delayed a decision in the case taken to the court over government's takeover of the operations of the Berbice River Bridge. The judge had scheduled this morning for her decision, but told the attorneys in the matter that she was delaying her decision as she requested additional information and documents related to the case. She will now hand down her decision on the 18th of December. The Berbice Bridge Company moved to the courts back in 2018 following the move by the government through the Public Infrastructure Ministry to take control of the Berbice Bridge. That move came just as the company was preparing to increase the tolls to cross the bridge. In its filings, the Berbice Bridge Company asked the court to issue an order quashing the decision by the minister to take control of the operations of the bridge. It also wants an order to be granted quashing the government's decision to keep the tolls for the bridge in the current form. Additionally, the bridge company is seeking an order of prohibition, which would prohibit the Minister of Public Infrastructure from exercising the functions of maintaining and operating the Berbice River Bridge. The bridge company is also asking the court to declare that the minister has no power under the Berbice Bridge Act or otherwise to approve or reject an increase in tolls by the bridge company. The company is also seeking several other orders in relation to the management and operation of the bridge. The Berbice Bridge Company was seeking to increase the tolls of the bridge by more than 300%. The government made it clear that it would not allow such an increase to go forward. The bridge company then made an offer to keep the tolls as is, but demanded that the government extends the life of the agreement for its ownership of the bridge. The laws governing the bridge company allow for the government to move in and take control of the operations of the bridge because of public safety concerns. In the world of politics, the opposition People's Progressive Party Civic has made a commitment to implement campaign finance reform in order to fight corruption if elected to office. The revelation was made last Friday by the party's General Secretary, Bharat Jagdeo, who said the issue forms part of the party's official manifesto 2020 to 2025. Political financing laws usually provide mechanisms to facilitate transparency and accountability, which allows citizens to detect instances of corrupt practices. According to Mr. Jagdeo, campaign finance reform will be necessary in order to prevent oil companies from subverting political parties, along with financing them to influence national policies.
We have to ensure that foreign money doesn't play a role in influencing national policy, particularly in these sectors that are so crucial to the well-being of Guyanese, because you can actually sell policies that will harm the whole country.
Jagdeo said there will also be several reforms once they get into government.
When you have politicians doing this, then you have a whole scope for corruption. So we are returning to that arm's length processing of duty-free concessions, tax concessions, away from the politicians, which this government reversed.
The opposition leader also revealed on Friday plans to criminalize the non-disclosure of receipts from oil companies to the government, which could result in the Minister of Finance being jailed, according to him. Mr. Jagdeo was Guyana's longest-serving president. He served for 12 and a half years of the 23 years that his party spent in government. Many of the reforms that he's now pursuing and talking about were mostly ignored during his time in government. The Guyana Elections Commission has set the 10th of January 2020 as the official date for nomination for the March 2nd elections. In a notice published in the newspapers over the weekend, the Elections Commission also called on all political parties seeking to contest the elections to submit their symbols to the Commission for approval. The submission has to be before the 13th of December. On the Guyana's constitution, the parties seeking to contest the elections will have to submit their list of candidates on nomination day, which will include a national top-up list and at least 6 geographical constituencies lists and the Regional Democratic Council's list. The Elections Commission is now in high gear with its preparations. On the last day of Guyana Observing Road Safety Week on Saturday, 5 persons were added to the list of road deaths in 2 separate accidents. On Saturday night, an accident at Nimes on the west bank of the Marara involving a minibus and a car claimed the lives of 4 persons, including a 12-year-old girl. The smash-up occurred just before 8 p.m. along the Nimes public road. Eyewitnesses recall seeing the car driving onto the roadway from the gas station and the speeding minibus crashing directly into it. The driver of the car is among the fatalities. Many of the victims from the minibus appear to have been heading home from an evening of shopping. Their bodies were pitched onto the roadway. Passers-by rushed to the scene to offer assistance as the medical services were summoned. The injured persons were taken to the West Demerara Hospital, where most of them were stabilized before being transferred to the Georgetown Hospital. Saturday night's accident was the second one within hours on the western Marara that turned out deadly. Around 5 o'clock on Saturday morning at Lenora, 25-year-old Republic Bank staffer Riley Newton lost his life when he reportedly fell asleep while driving to his Windsor Forest home. He lost control of the vehicle and ran off of the roadway, slamming into a parked vehicle. 2 friends who were with him were hospitalized with injuries. It was a deadly road safety week for Guyana. There were at least 5 other road deaths during the past week. While a prison officer attached to the Luzaknan prison might soon find himself among the same prisoners he was hired to watch, the director of prisons, Gladwin Samuels, announced that a young prison officer was arrested at 6:45 yesterday morning with 70 grams of marijuana hidden in his underwear. The man, who has been on the job for just 8 months, was arrested as he was reporting for duty. He reportedly told his superiors that he felt pressured by an inmate's repeated requests to traffic marijuana into the jail for him. According to the prison director, the officer said he would like to warn other officers to make use of the systems in place to report such issues so that they can get the help needed. Charges are to be filed against him during this week. In the courts, a drug addict who was caught on camera stealing a pressure washer has been recommended to the newly opened drug treatment court after admitting in the Georgetown Magistrates Court today that he stole the pressure washer so that he could sell it to buy food and drugs. 29-year-old Vishal Jones stood in the courtroom of Magistrate Shuttle Isaacs and opted not to waste the court's time by admitting to the offense. Court documents revealed that on the 17th of November at Alexander Village, Jones stole a pressure washer worth $160,000, the property of Munir Yamid. The man was arrested after the owner reviewed his security cameras and saw that it captured the entire pressure washer heist. It was explained to the court that the man usually finds himself in trouble for stealing petty items and drug abuse. The magistrate ordered that Jones be subjected to the drug treatment court for the rest of the trial. Across the region with Samuel Suknandan is up next.
Flavor, food, fun. Guyana, it's back. UNCAP 2019 continues. Join us at the Guyana National Stadium at Providence for the Agro-Processors Exhibition and Food Festival. Enjoy local products that have been made, mixed and blended to perfection. It's all happening on Sunday, December 8th from 10 a.m. Enter the Savor the Flavor competition for a chance to win exciting hampers with fantastic local foods, personal care items, and so much more. Don't you miss it.
There once was a man named Stan whose business needed a new plan. Christmas was coming, this much was true. He needed some help but didn't know what to do. Then fast as a flash, 3 helpers did come from Republic Bank. They came with some. One had low interest rates, one reduced equity, one with approval so quick and easy. Now Stan is the man and his business is booming. Christmas is good and he is winning. Reach more customers and boost your business with a Republic Small Business Loan today.
At the most critical life-changing moments, the National Insurance Scheme is here to ensure that your needs are covered. Access reimbursement for medical expenses for various aspects of your medical care. We know that eye care is of utmost importance. Receive assistance with our Spectacle Care voucher. Visiting the dentist? Dental care is also covered under our sickness benefit services. Offset the funeral expenses of a loved one with costs covered by our funeral benefits. National Insurance Scheme. We're there every step of the way.
They've made a positive impact on the heavy-duty transportation industry in Guyana since they've arrived. Guyanese are amazed at their power, durability, efficiency, and superior handling capabilities. These are brand new trucks, manufactured in partnership with German, Italian, and French companies. They have a powerful reputation for operating under very adverse Guyanese conditions and come with full after-sales service and spare parts. They're the most sought-after trucks today, with over 500 units in Guyana, and they're available in over 100 countries, including South America and the Caribbean. Caribbean. Be smart. Buy brand new ST Howo trucks today. Call 608-4998 and arrange for an inspection at ST Truck Guyana Incorporated, Block B, Public Road, Covenant, East Bank, Demerara.
Taking you across the region right now, I'm Samuel Suknandan. Let's start with what's happening in the Caribbean. A Commonwealth Observation Group will be in Dominica to observe the upcoming elections. The members will meet with stakeholders including election management officials, representatives of political parties, civil society groups and others, and will deploy to observe the election preparations. On election day, the group will observe the opening, voting, closing, counting, and the results management process until its departure on 13th December. The group arrived in Dominica on 27th November. General elections in Dominica are scheduled for Friday, 6th December. Now over to Mexico. At least 21 people have died due to the battle between Mexican police officers and cartel gunmen just days after U.S. President Donald Trump said that he planned on labeling Mexican drug cartels as terrorists. Armed gunmen stormed Villa Union, a town near the Texas border, on Saturday and attacked local government offices, including that of the mayor. Security forces responded and 10 gunmen and 4 policemen were killed during the resulting shooting in the village. 7 additional cartel members were killed by security forces after the attackers fled. Despite the rise in homicide numbers in Mexico, the government is against a U.S. military intervention. And finally, international news. U.S. President Donald Trump and his lawyers will not take part in a congressional impeachment hearing this week, the White House has said. Mr. Trump's aides responded defiantly to the first of 2 crucial deadlines he faces in Congress this week. Democrats are prepared to shift the focus of their impeachment inquiry from fact-finding to the consideration of possible charges of misconduct. Congressional investigators have been looking into whether Mr. Trump abused his power by pressuring Ukraine to launch investigations of former Democratic Vice President Joe Biden, who is running to unseat him in the 2020 presidential election, and a discredited conspiracy theory that Ukraine, not Russia, interfered in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. And that's your news source evening bulletin for tonight. Have a good night.